Good morning, you little fuckers, and welcome to the Four Seasons Podcast.
Good morning, Grand Rising. How y'all doing? It's been a while. It's been a week since we've talked. How's everybody feeling?
Feeling good.
I'll let my
We're ready to
bug
get the
speak.
show going.
I'll let
Hey,
my bug speak for me.
I'm a
I am
ray
a
of
ray of
fuck.
fucking sunshine. That's me. All the time.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. That's all
Who
I know.
sings that song? Who sings that song?
Not me, obviously, right?
You know what though? You do make me happy when skies are gray. You'll
There
never
you
know,
go.
dear. There's not much that I don't know about music.
Bato, how's your morning doing? How was your week?
It's well. It's really well. I did my cold plunge at 7 instead of 6:30.
All right. Have you submitted to anything yet?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, you already know, bro. 14 years ago,
Shit.
I had to.
You tapped it. You tapped out. You tapped out.
I tapped out.
Okay.
I tapped out. I tapped in. Everything that has to do with tapping,
Yeah.
been happening.
You tapped
Hey,
in.
so
and
just-
you tapped out.
Just before we keep going on the whole submission topic, I just want to give you guys a little update. We're at 2.5K Spotify impressions. So that means over 2.5 thousand people have searched our podcast.
Nice.
Wow,
That's
that's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
We're getting.
shout out
We're
to
getting.
everybody that's been listening to our podcast. We appreciate you.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Vato knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you for the support.
Whether you
We
love
appreciate
you know
it.
You support us.
You know what? Since you bring that up about submitting, there is something that I want to talk about for a quick second. Through the rumor mill, I have heard there's a lot of people that don't want to listen to the podcast because of a couple of individuals on here.
You don't say.
Myself being one of them.
Oh shit.
Who's the other person?
I don't know, but I know I'm one of them. And I think you might know the other guy too. I think you might know the other guy too.
Is it him? Is it freaking?
Yeah, it's gonna be me. Or Vato.
No, it's me and you.
Who?
You fool!
Me
What did
and
I
you.
do? What did I do?
What did I do other than tell people the truth in my story? What
I
did
always
do?
tell the truth. I always
Yeah.
tell the truth.
But here's the thing. People cannot submit to the truth. People do not accept truth.
Facts.
And 9 times out of 10, somebody will deny the fact that they are wrong, and they're stubborn and ignorant to listen to somebody else's views.
So how'd you find this out?
I hear everything. People think I don't hear anything, man. I hear, I see, and I know everything.
Well, we're doing good without those individuals, so it's fine.
Nick,
No,
make
yeah,
sure you
yeah.
tell this person that this episode is dedicated to them.
It is, and that's why I brought that up. We will not submit to your negative criticism. We do this for us. We do this for other people that it may be reaching to help.
You know, but Nick, like I'll say something about that, bro. I appreciate people like that. I really appreciate people like that because when they talk poorly or badly about us, well, then somebody who doesn't know who we are is gonna go to our page and they're gonna see that we're the polar opposite of what they're claiming we are.
Definitely.
And at that point, they might say, you know what? I'm going to listen to the first episode. And we all know that the first episode was amazing.
Yep.
That, like, I feel like that first episode really set the tone for the rest of the podcast.
They're basically, like, when I heard that, I was thinking to myself, it kind of fucking hurt my feelings a little bit. And I was like, how are you going to judge what I'm telling you based upon my personal experiences and the personal experiences of every other man in this podcast? How are you going to judge us on our personal experiences? I think there's a huge misconception that when this podcast started, that we were going to be 4 guys that were degrading women. And I really think a lot of people have that stuck in their head that that's what we do here.
Yep.
But that's completely opposite. That's not what we do here. We inform men who might not have a voice and women who might not be seeing that side of their relationship based upon the 4 of us, our personal experiences.
Yeah. Definitely.
So ignorance is real, okay?
Ignorance is bliss, bro. Ignorance is bliss.
It's fine. Well, like I said, we don't need people like that. We encourage people like that to watch and get their input, but how can we ever break that barrier if they're not willing to meet us halfway, and give us a platform to have that type of conversation? But if they don't want to, that's their loss. They can't complain in the future.
Nope.
No, you're right. But I wanted to get that out there, and I wanted to clear. You may think we don't know, but we know.
I'm glad you bring this up, bro, because I mean every man in this podcast here has a daughter. So why the fuck would we degrade women? We all have a mother. Why would we degrade women? We all have a sister, maybe. I don't know. I have a sister. He laughs. Right? So we all come from a woman. So we're men. We're gentlemen. We're not going into women degradation. And if that would have been it, I probably wouldn't be in one of these boxes. Because I feel that we want to bring alertness. We want a platform where men can find their journey to healing their past relationships so that they can be better men for their next relationship through the experiences that we went through throughout our lifespan. So whoever you are, if you ever hear this episode, I hope you heal whatever the fuck somebody did to you.
Yeah, don't take it out on us.
Yeah, I didn't hurt you. You don't personally know me.
So submitting. Who wants to start it off?
I'm submitting to this Frosted Mini Wheat right now.
Are we talking about submission in a relationship or submission or submitted in life? What are we talking about tonight?
I'm about to submit application because all these planes don't stop passing right now.
We can't hear them?
I can hear. They're annoying in my ear right now. I guess because of the mic picks it up for me. So I can barely hear you guys. All I hear is.
Mike, I think it's submission in all aspects of life, relationship and life.
I think that word. I think I did a TikTok not too long ago about submitting. I find that most women don't like that word in today's society. Most women don't like the word submission because they feel like it's a 1950s, I'm submit to the man and whatever he says goes type deal. And even though we're living in a modern time, submission nowadays goes both ways in my mindset. You know, if a woman submits to you, you're submitting to that woman, and it's a two-way street. Most people don't see it that way. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
I agree with you, bro. I 100% agree with you, but I feel that the way that a man submits now compared to how a man used to submit back in the day is way different as well. You know, I've seen how my grandfather's form of submitting was my grandma doing whatever he pleased, whatever he wanted her to do,
Right.
and have that strictness. And his form of submitting was just bringing the money so that the kids could eat. You know, submitting. So basically, the old school submitting was we submit to a job. We don't really submit to our household. We just do what we need to do for the household. I think that now we're in a place where men are going to submit, and we're submitting in a more alert way to the needs of our partner based on the boundaries that we're setting.
Right. I agree. It's just changed this thing. These years it's changed. Past relationships. How you said we were both. I was raised old school, so I've always said. I've always expected. It's like I'm saying this. I always expected the woman to do everything. I'll just come home with the cheese, you know, provide for the family. As long as the family's provided for, then we'll just go from there. But nowadays it's like it's a 50-50 relationship. So now even if I ask for a favor, when I was in a relationship, I'll ask for a favor. It won't get done till like 2 weeks later. It's like, yo, I needed that shit done like yesterday. And I think that's where the relationship kind of failed, because when she would ask me for a favor, it was nag until it got done. But when I asked for a favor, it just got into a pile of favors and it just never got done. So I think that's where relationships right now are kind of failing, because as men, we're forced to do that favor on the spot, right there and then. And when we ask women to do us a simple, and you know what, it was one of the dumbest simple favors that I would always ask. It's like, hey, do me a favor, look for something real quick. It's on my drawer. Okay, I'll do it right now. I'll get home, or I'll do whatever I'm doing. I'll get back and be like, did you do what I told you? Oh no, I forgot. I got busy. Busy doing what? Watching TV? Because that's all you've been doing. You've been on your phone all day. You've been texting me all day. You could have done it while you're texting me. It's just a simple, and I think that's where most relationships kind of fail. When you ask, what's up?
So what I got from that was, I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. You said,
go for it.
Did you ask her to do something, or did you tell her to do something? Because what you said was, did you do what I told you to do?
Well, I asked the first time, and then I was like, did you do what I told? Then that's when my aggression comes in, because it's like, yo, it's been 2-3 hours and I haven't heard from it. But when you're asking me to do something, it's nag until I get it done. So there's no way we were gonna submit to each other at that point, because like now I learned like.
Did you guys have that conversation at the beginning of a relationship of like the type of relationship that you guys wanted?
No, this was long ago.
No, I'm asking you.
But no.
Did you guys have that conversation of the type of relationship you wanted before you got started?
No, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
So you guys were just going with the flow.
Basically.
That's why communication is very important, because
young, dumb love.
Yeah, gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you guys agree with me. Every relationship you've been in, you guys have those conversations begin to kind of, you know, set your boundaries and say, hey, look, this is what I'm willing to do for you. This is my expectation back. And I tell you, those relationships usually don't last when you guys are not on the same page. Yeah, you might string along for years or whatever, how long you guys can do it. You know, I was in the same boat. I used to go with the flow, and I didn't have structure in the relationship, and then those relationships never last. But the moment I provided structure and what I brought to, when it comes to submitting, because I'm a submittable person. That means I will submit to you.
Right.
But this is what I want. If I'm submitted to you, I want you to submit to me. Now, if one person is the only one submitting, the other person is doing their own thing, then those relationships don't last either. That's probably why things didn't work out, because you guys didn't have that type of communication.
Oh, we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't.
You know what, I can relate to that, because what you said about when they start asking you, when your partner asks you to do something, like, okay, say for instance they'll tell you when you're at work, right? Because that seems like the time that they really want to talk about stuff, is when you're at work and you're busy. So they'll tell you, and you'll be like, okay, I'm at work right now, I'll take care of it. You work late, something else comes up, you guys go do something else, here it comes. Did you do this? Did you do that yet? No, I haven't. On with the nagging. Nagging continues until you finally get it done, and then by that time it's more of like, oh well, I should have just done it myself rather than waited on you. Well, you know what? If you feel that way, then you probably should have. But when you ask them to do something, like you said, it's, oh, I didn't have time. Oh, I forgot. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. That comes into play right there too, because it's true. It's true, and I can think back into every single relationship that I've been in, and there's always that issue, even with communication, even with great communication. You know what I mean? Because in any relationship that I get in, I try to like have great communication, so that way there's no question, there's no second guessing, there's no wonder. So you always have great communication. But it seems that problem will always arise just out of nowhere, and it'll be little problems like that. It's hard to. I don't really like the word submit, because I feel like submitting kind of means like just like giving up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you win type thing.
See, that's the problem with most females, because they think the same damn way. Most women, that word, when it comes to a relationship, it used to mean something positive. But what happens is, over the course of time, with these modern society and how people think, they want to be independent and all this stuff while benefiting from a relationship. It's just that word just gets to them, and I don't get it. Like, I like the word submission. Submission to me is kind of like, I was raised old school to a certain extent. I'm a family man, and me submitting to you is doing things what I need to do as a man to provide for you, whether it does with your mental or physical aspects. And if I can provide those two, then I know I'm doing my job, as long as you're happy. But shit, hell, I want a woman to submit to me too. I had this conversation with Adrienne quite a few times, and we have the same mindset of what submission is and what it means to have that type of aspect in a relationship, and why is it important. And I don't know. There's my previous relationships means multiple, is I always submit to them, but I never got the same energy back, and if it was bare minimum. So that's why those relationships didn't last long. And that's why I wasn't happy, because I felt like I was submitting more than I was supposed to. I was giving more than I was supposed to. You know, I was doing more shit for them than they were doing for me, and it wasn't I wasn't getting the same energy back. So, but it's refreshing. You know, it's refreshing because not everybody thinks submission is a bad thing. You know, is it different now these days compared to in 10, 15, 20 years ago? Yes, I agree. Because now, and I understand that most women don't like this, but 50-50 concept is what most men look for, right? And I know some women don't like that. They want 100% and only provide 2% back. That's the majority of the women now these days. Did I say all women? No. I'm saying majority of women have that mindset. So submission is a good concept to have in a relationship. You're wanting your man to submit to you, and you want it. And in return, your man wants you to submit to them. Now, is it controlling? No, it's not fucking controlling, as long as you provide healthy boundaries when it comes to that type of submission or submitting to your partner. As long as you have healthy boundaries in that type of relationship, then submitting is not going to be a bad thing. It's not a bad concept, because then you guys are putting each other in each other's focus, and you guys are focused on each other and not anybody else outside the relationship. I know, what was it? Mosca, you were talking about that you were raised old school, so you thought that being in a relationship is you provide the cheese. Was that you, right? That said that?
Yeah.
So you provide the cheese and the person would just be home. What's one thing that you kind of realized where you had to change that mindset? When did you come to that realization?
After my relationship failed.
And what did you realize?
I just realized that it ain't about that lifestyle anymore. It truly ain't. Because I didn't only just see it on my relationship. I started seeing it on different other relationships during the time. And some women out there really don't give a shit about you bringing the money or not anymore. It's one of those like, can you provide for me? I need my nails done. Can you go pay for that shit? I need my hair done. Can you go, like, I'll do all that for you. Don't get me wrong, but can I get a plate of dinner when I get home? I don't ask for a lot. I just want to be fed. I just want to be able to get home and come home to a warm meal. And that's where it kind of felt, because I thought me providing for all that, me providing and doing all this shit, being raised old school, would bring me those benefits again. But instead, it was one of those. So, and it sucks that I'm gonna say this, but social media kind of fucked it up, because they were too busy on their phone, chit-chatting, entertaining other people.
Oh, I know the feeling.
So that's exactly what happened. So it's like, well, there's no such thing as being raised old school anymore. And those that do have it are the ones that are basically like completely lost in relationships now, because they're like, well, what should I do now? Be an asshole?
You know, that's sad truth too, because there's a lot of women and men who are old-fashioned, who are looking for that traditional type commitment in a relationship, right? And they run into these women and men who all they want to do is benefit from being in a relationship and then, you know, they want to benefit to being in a relationship, benefits of being in a relationship, but still doing their own thing. And what they don't realize they're doing is, once they lose somebody, they don't realize how good they had it until they run into an asshole, or, you know, a woman that doesn't give a shit, because they're like, fuck, man, I let that other one go, and, you know, I didn't submit to her, I didn't give her what she was, I didn't match her energy, and now I lost her. That's what most guys think. And then the same concept goes with women. Women be like, yo, I want to be independent, and you can't set boundaries for me, and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I want to benefit everything from you, because you provide me, and you're traditional, and you have all these values, and you do all these things for me. And 9 out of 10 times, they'll move on, or someone breaks up with them, and then they run into a-hole after a-hole, and they're like, fuck, I had it good with them. Or what the worst thing can happen is they turn that type of person that has those traditional values, they turn that person into a modern day, part of the general population. Now they're not unique anymore because they got hurt or they got tired of bringing those traditional values into the dating, realm. And, people get tired. I'm just lucky that I have the strong will mindset standards that I've had, that, I continue to want to have a good relationship. Like, if I had this conversation with Adriana, like I said, I had a conversation with Adriana, like I'll submit to her, and I am submitting to her. I hop around the house every time I come visit. I'm cleaning, I'm doing things to make things easier for her, and vice versa. And guess what she's doing? She's cooking for me. She's doing things that, that she wants to do, what she considers a submission is.
Yeah.
And like I said, it took me a while. There's a couple of times where I was like, in my previous relationships, I was like, fuck, man, I'm getting tired of this shit. I'm getting tired of submitting to women, but they're not submitting to me. And they sit there and they know that I'm submitting to them, but then, they don't give a shit because they have their own lifestyle. And it's just one of those things. I'm kind of glad that I held out and then I found Adriana, because if I didn't, then I'll just be another asshole on the street. Who knows?
I have something to say.
Sir?
I feel that I've heard social media been thrown in here a few times, and I feel that nowadays a lot of these women in this generation are very good at trying to communicate with you through a message instead of calling you or sitting down with you and having that belly-to-belly conversation of, hey, these are the things that I need, these are the things that hurt me when you do them. That expression. And I don't know, I'm not gonna say that a lot of men have not felt their women feel safe enough to be able to do that, because I don't think a lot of that has changed, man. Men still have a lot of men still have the mindset of, I have to be the protector and I have to give her a space where she feels safe. And I saw that growing up whole life. But nowadays I feel like it's so easy for women and men to pick up the phone, and instead of talking to their partner directly and saying, these are the things that are bothering me, they go to their fucking friends and send them messages who are just going to support them in the wrong way, because they're not going to give them the advice of, go talk to him about it, go talk to that person about it, be direct with that person about it. And I feel like social media has disconnected. And I mean, I see it all the time. Men and women will post a video where they just go off on something that's happening in their relationship instead of addressing it directly with the person that they're having the issue with.
Oh man, I have a story. I have something that aligns with what you just said, Vando, and it's crazy because I'll say it. My last relationship, I gave that person a platform every time they're someone's bothered them, right? But the moment that something bothered me, or if I was going through something, because we all know, like, I got PTSD and I got depression and stuff like that, so I take medication and stuff like that. It's no secret. Going to friends or going on the phone, my ex used to go to her clients and ask them their opinions about stuff I was going through, and she would throw that shit in my face and be like, well, my client said that her husband has depression and he doesn't go through that. I was like, why are you comparing me to your client? Why are you talking to your clients about me? Maybe. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. I don't know why you crawling. Thank you, mama. Love you.
Yeah, we saw her. Look, she's crawling back out. Look,
she's crawling out. It's so cute. She doesn't want to disturb you.
Hey, that's a real one right there. That's a real one right there.
I think that comparison is the thief of all joys, and I think that comparison destroys people's. Comparison just destroys everything. If you compare your relationship to somebody else because you feel that they're doing better just because they can post on their social media to make it look like they're doing better, but behind closed doors, you really don't know what the fuck is going down.
No, yeah,
I think that's like the most. But like my client, who is a high school dropout, who doesn't really know how to read. Her husband brings all the money. Says that everybody. As a mind-body medicine coach, everybody has anxiety. Everybody has some form of depression. What you do with it is what makes you the person that you are today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for her to be like, my client was not a counselor or some life coach of some type, just told me that everybody processes trauma differently, and that is bullshit. That is bullshit. Oh my god, bro. Okay, you just made my day.
No, but
this one was worth it today.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, is instead of, like you said, instead of addressing it and actually having a conversation with the person that's in your relationship, they will result to this, and it will result to outside sources, and then they will compare. They'll be like, well, this person said that they're dealing with this, and why can't you get through it? I'm like, yo, I'm different. I went through things differently. I'm dealing with things differently. And that was a struggle for me, because I felt like I never had that platform to express it without being criticized or, turn out to be the bad guy. And it felt for a while that every time I pointed something out that was negative, it got turned around on me for pointing it out. Like I was the bad guy for pointing out fucked up shit. So that wasn't, to me, that was like, I started realizing, I was like, this woman is not submitting, mentally, and I was putting more into it. So like I said, when it comes to submission, you guys have to have same energy, both mentally and physically, and I'm not, ladies, if you guys are listening out there, I'm not saying that you should submit to a guy like that. No, it's a two-way street, If you guys gotta match energy, the way you submit to your man, that's the same expectations that you want your man to submit to you. And I think that's where we struggle. We definitely struggle because people get in a wrong mindset of what submission means. And women think it's the 1950s where, I gotta bow down. No, it's not about bowing down to your man. It's not. It's about showing each other respect in a relationship. What comes to boundaries, and you're submitting to the love, the mental and physical aspect of what you both need out of that relationship. I think people get lost in that.
Yeah.
My baby girl, she hooked it up. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think a lot of women do feel that it's the old way of submitting. But I guess it basically would come down to communication and understanding of what it really means to submit. Just basically being the true counterpart for the other person. You know what I mean? You doing something for them doing something for you, and it's not even really doing stuff for each other. It's just making a steady foundation, just making everything move in motion, in sync.
Yeah.
You know what I really think it is, bro? Some people are too literal, and they're very literal because they also don't have the skill of communication with their partner that they need to have. What does it mean? According to the dictionary, submit: accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. That sounds pretty negative when you read it. The second one, though, submit to a particular process, treatment, or condition. So boundaries are pretty much a condition. You set the boundaries, you accept the boundaries, that's submitting. The second part doesn't sound so negative once you say it, right? But the first one sounds, oh, he's superior to me. That's not what we mean when we talk about submitting. We're not talking about I'm superior, I'm better than you. In a relationship, sometimes you're going to be polar opposite of your partner in certain ways. I might be doing things one way, she might be doing things a different way, but at the end of the day, as long as that shit gets done, it gets done.
Yeah.
These are good points. Very good points, man. And I think it's very important to have this type of conversation, especially on this platform, because there's a lot of people out there that get the wrong misconception about how men think when it comes to the submitting aspect of being in a relationship. And maybe this message will help. And, you know, whether it deals with new people in new relationships or people in our past that quite didn't understand where we were coming from, you know, why we did the things we did, or, you know, what was our thought and mindset on a lot of issues. So I think this is very important, especially Vato, you're really, I'm talking about well-versed and articulate when it comes to describing certain things when it comes to submission. And you being married, what's one of the things, that being said, what's one of the things that you guys struggled? Have you guys struggled on the submitting part? Have you guys ever?
Yeah, we most definitely have. I mean, you know, because in the beginning of the relationship, we had the old school upbringing that Mosca talked about earlier. So our form of submitting was, I'm the man, I'm the head of the household, I'm the leader, period. You might say what you say, but at the end of the day, whatever I say is the end result. You know, so I think that eventually there came a time where we know we wanted more, but we had to change that way of thinking if we really wanted to achieve it. As a relationship, as a business partnership, a financial standpoint, spiritual, trauma healing, everything. We knew we had to change a few things. And when you realize that it's time to change, there's a lot of pain in the process of change. Like, it does not come easy. Healing does not come easy. Becoming more does not come easy. Going in a different direction. And then life is a bitch, so life will bitch slap you suddenly. And that's where you really find out, is it worth continuing through the pain on top of the pain that life is now throwing on me? So, yeah, I think communication was the biggest thing that we both lacked because of the old school way of the upbringing and thinking. But now, and it literally took us over 10 years to figure out how to really talk to each other, bro. Because we become different people every time. We either grow and become more, and we grow together, or we grow apart.
Yep.
So yeah, there are a lot of challenges, bro. Now I feel like Annie are finally in sync. We're at the same frequency. We both have the same mindset. We both have the same energy that we're putting towards something. There's things that she wants. There's things that I want, and then there's things that we want together. So we have to give each other the space so that I can achieve what I need to achieve. She can achieve what she needs to achieve, and then we come together to achieve the things that we need to achieve together.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. I like that. I like that for you. That sounds. I would like that for anybody. You know, it just. I'm pretty sure you guys came to that realization, like, damn, we should have done this a long time ago. Maybe things would have been a lot better. I think that's what we all look for. We all look for that type of commitment, that type of communication and relationship. You know, and that's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, and you seem like you're very, very, very happy and content where you're at in life. So that's good.
I'm very very grateful, and I'm happy to be where I'm at with my family. And I think earlier I mentioned to you guys I didn't want to have kids because of my illness that I had. A lot of things are genetic. I didn't want them to go through the struggle of one time getting sick and losing their health and having to battle as hard as I had to battle to get my health back. So I never wanted to have kids because I felt that I was cursing them from the start. And I'm so happy and grateful for all the experiences that I've been through, even the traumatic ones, and what she's been through, because now we are in a place together where we understand that without trauma, there is no growth and there is no development.
Yeah.
Facts.
Am I content though? Absolutely not. I want some anxiety in my life. Give me some anxiety so I can get things done.
I do have a question. This is open stage, but I think this is directly towards either Mosca or Nick, because I know you guys had relationships in the past. What's one thing that you could have done different when it comes to the topic we're talking about right now? And yeah, what's one thing that you as an individual could have done different when it comes to submitting to your partner? And what would have made a difference, an outcome?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first? Communication. I lacked communication in the 13 years that I was with her. That was my number one, communication and opening up, actually expressing my feelings, and that was basically it. And have I learned from it? Oh, definitely. Have I grown from it? Yes. Do I admit I had those problems? Fuck yeah. Can I do better now? Yeah, but the type of women we have nowadays, it's kind of hard.
Nick.
You know what? I think for myself, I think I would submit maybe too much. I was doing too much, and I wasn't getting the same back from my partners. And then that wears on a relationship. When one person is, doing everything they can and the other person doesn't really give anything back. And, very minuscule of things that I ask from a partner. Because I don't need nothing. It's never anything financial or materialistic shit. Just basic shit that you would want in a relationship. That a relationship is, that's required in a relationship to have everything running smoothly. So nowadays I'm more of I'm not as submissive. Don't get me wrong, I still do everything that I should, but I'm just more aware. Like, I won't just keep continue doing it,
So I have a question for our audience. If you could change anything, like the question that Mike asked, feel free to answer it, right? But also, how do you submit to your person, or how would you submit to your future person if that person makes you feel safe enough to submit to them? Question for our audience. That's it.
There you go. You've heard it.
That's a good question.
You've heard it. And on that note, fellas, we're going to drop the mic. You have a wonderful day. Y'all stay blessed. We'll see you guys next week. We out.
Bye, everybody.